These low-level cartel thugs are people that work for elite and powerful people. So what we do with these animals is we bring them directly to the swamp.
Dawn, welcome to the program.
Hey, great to be on with you today.
So I was thrilled about this booking because this was the first question I had for the president at Alligator Alcatraz, because he's been talking about putting crocodiles in the Rio Grande for a long time and never got around to it. But you are here with potentially a proposal for a Texas version of Alligator Alcatraz. This is fascinating. Please explain, Commissioner.
Well, back last fall, we announced the Jocelyn Initiative. As you know, Jocelyn Nungary was one of our young ladies who lost her life so horrifically at the hands of some migrants who had come across illegally. And we just said, look, we're happy to partner up with the federal government for detention and deportation centers. We had just purchased a property on the Rio Grande for the sole purpose of getting the wall up and stopping all the terrible crime that was happening on that property, because the current owner wouldn't allow law enforcement on it. But we're here and ready, willing to go. Texas actually has several deportation and detention facilities that are working really well right now. And so, but we just want to be a good partner. And we are so excited about the turnaround at the border, which is, of course, mainly driven by the federal policies that we've seen. Immediately Trump takes office and we see a 98% decrease in the people coming across the border and a 99% decrease in the gotaways. So things are looking good at the border.
That's incredible. So you can attest personally that this border is officially shut down.
We still do see some traffic over it, but in general, it is effectively shut down more than it has ever been, which is the perfect example of how we need to keep our infrastructure going. We need to get that wall, keep the boots on the ground, the technology watching everything. But it's the federal policies that really serve as the incentive that bring people here illegally, as we saw under the Biden administration.
Yes, that's right. What about some of the criminal alien communities in Texas? I know there was a pretty famous story about a specific municipality that was allowing criminal aliens to buy houses without being American citizens and so on. Has all that been shut down?
We are making great steps in that. We've had a couple communities that have been cause for concern. One, for the illegal folks coming across the border. Texas did just pass a ban on foreign ownership, although it's more geared at people mostly from China, North Korea, Russia, things like that. But we also had a Muslim community going up that we've been in the middle of trying to stop because we believe it's inconsistent with our laws. So yes, we are in process on that as well.
That's right. Could you perhaps give us an update on that? That's made quite a splash on social media, the Sharia city, they call it.
Yes, believe it or not, parts of it had actually been in existence for 10 years, but there was a massive new development announced that, of course, you'd be under Sharia law and have to be Muslim to enjoy it, the Muslim way of living, and they have all kinds of great slogans. So we believe it's inconsistent with our state laws. We've got several state agencies that they need permits from, but I don't anticipate them getting those permits. But we're doing everything we can to be sure that we don't have, if nothing else, religious discrimination in our communities. We're definitely not going to tolerate Sharia law courts.
Yeah, I mean, that seems totally incompatible, of course, with Western civilization, but also naturally with the culture of Texas, right, which many people see as kind of the rich American fabric of the pioneering days and the cowboy days, and like it's just like, wait, there's a Sharia city being built there. Like I guess you could kind of scratch your head and look at like New York and Zorhan Mandami and say, okay, well, this is, it's the Bronx. But in Texas, and everyone was very confused about that.
It is confusing, but it just shows you that they're persistent and ingenious, and we have to be ever vigilant to be sure we're watching out for these things.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk very quickly about this massive plot of land. This is the article here. A 100% on board. Border state offers Trump massive plot of land. How massive is this plot of land, Commissioner?
Well, we run 13 million acres. We have hundreds of thousands of acres right on the border. So we just said, look, President Trump, Biden administration, Texas is united in anything you need, any property you need for detention and deportation of our illegal migrants. We're happy to provide. So, of course, Governor Abbott's been taking the lead on that, but we're all working together, all united, because I do not want one more parent to have to endure what Alexis Nungary has had to endure. I mean, losing your child that way is horrific, and losing your child at the hands of someone who shouldn't have even been here in the first place is absolutely horrific. So we're going to do everything we can, especially with the criminal illegal migrants, to get them off our soil. We want them gone yesterday.
Yes. Yes. I don't know, if you actually cared about the people who live in your state, and you cared about the Americans who reside in you, who fought for this land and who built this land and who actually built this country. And then, of course, this is the common sense opinion to have. Why do people have the opposite opinion? Is there any defensible argument for waves upon waves of hundreds of millions of third world criminal aliens to be washed through a community? Is there any argument for that, Commissioner?
I don't see any defensible argument. I do think, in my understanding, that Doge uncovered the fact that the federal government under the Biden administration was completely funding and encouraging this to the NGOs, with absolutely the plan to have those people be voting in a few years and turn the tides of our elections potentially forever. So I think that was their plot. It's completely indefensible for the economic prosperity and safety of our communities that crime has touched every corner of the United States, every community. But we're going to get it reversed. We're going to get it better. We're going to get these illegal migrants off of our soil, and get our communities back to being safe and prosperous again.
I just wanted to play a very quick clip because we had a chance to talk to the president about Texas and about his dream of crocodiles in the Rio Grande. And here's the commentary that he gave us.
Mr. President, in 2018, you suggested putting alligators in the Rio Grande to prevent crossings in Texas.
Crocodiles, alligators.
Is this a dream come true
My
for
bad.
you, sir?
Well, I was thinking about that, I must say. It was meant more as a joke, but the more I thought of it, the more I liked it, if you want to know the truth. And they were serious. They were actually crocodiles. They were crocodiles from Africa. They are a step beyond. But no, that was really meant as a joke, but a lot of people liked it. And a lot of people think we should do it, frankly.
Do you think we should do it? I know this is just, it's Friday. It's Friday, so why not chat about it? Yeah.
Why not?
They're going to be crocodile. They're going to be any
ironically,
African crocodiles released into the Rio Grande, Commissioner?
Maybe not anytime soon, but there might be some alligators already there. We'll have to check.
Okay. All right. But you are offering this massive property to the federal government in order to ensure that these deportations can happen and happen with great speed. And it'll be right on the border, right? So it should be pretty efficient.
Hopefully so. We're in process. We're working hand in hand. Of course, we just saw Kristi Noem and President Trump down in Texas over our terrible flooding that we've had all throughout Central Texas. Honestly, the worst disaster as far as taking lives that we've seen. So we got to chat with them a little bit there. But, Texas is super excited to have President Trump in office. We're excited to have a good partner on the border security, and we're going to keep working hard to be sure that it is secure now and that it stays secure.
Wonderful. Just a very quick update. How is the rebuild happening after that horrific flooding? I believe that the death toll was beyond 100. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we're running around 160. Of course, the rebuilding is just beginning. There's massive piles of debris, such a massive loss of life. I lost several friends in that flooding. My daughter went to that camp that the little girls were swept away from. It's going to be a while to rebuild, but Texas is a community, and so we're going to mourn together and we're going to rebuild together, and we'll come out of this stronger than we were before.
Stronger is, of course, the Texas way. And I just wanted to put this up. I thought it was so fascinating. You sitting here in a historic pose after a historic deal here with the largest. What is the largest purchase? Is it a purchase of land in Texas history, or at least in the last 80 years in Texas? What's going on here? This is like 350,000 acres? Goodness.
That's about half the size of Rhode Island, but Texas does things big. We feel like this was a strategic property for several reasons. One, we were blocking the Chinese from acquiring it because we've seen how they strategically acquire property adjacent to military bases. In fact, one of the first big pieces of property that they acquired is not too far from this one. It has a border component, as well as it has some rare earth minerals. It has lots of opportunity to earn money for the school children of Texas, because of course the 13 million acres that we run is set aside for public education. So in the last 2.5 years, we've generated about $5 billion. That's billion with a B for public education. So we steward our lands, we generate revenue for the school children of Texas, we increase border security, and we block China from buying it. So it was a win-win all the way around. Oh, and we got a heck of a deal, about half off. So, I like a good sale.
All right. Well, it looks beautiful. Can you show the plateau one more time? Just absolutely stunning here.
It is stunning.
Look at that. I mean, that's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. One more. What river is the Canyon River here? What river is this?
That's the Rio Grande. That's the
Rio Grande.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in this image.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Keep going, Klein, please. Keep going.
Yep. The other river
There
that's
you go.
on
Right-
it is
right there-
ironically
right there.
the San Francisco River. Yep, that's the Rio Grande.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's thousand foot cliffs on the Rio Grande. Mountains,
Goodness.
a lot of the ranch, you see mountains 360 degrees all the way around. It is a very special place in the Chihuahuan Desert. It has many very unique ecosystems on it. And we anticipate doing some really amazing things with that property.
Wow. Well, congratulations. This is I love it when Texas shows up to the program. We have a ton of viewers in Texas, and they're very proud of their state. And you know what? The one thing that we got on you in Florida is we do have an Alligator Alcatraz, and it looks like you're trying to take us over on that one too. So shucks. They can't keep getting away with it. All right. Well, thank you very much, Commissioner, for being on.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to follow Dawn. Here's her social media. And there in front of the Alamo with a big old steer, it looks like. That's quite a Texas photo right there. Congratulations. It looks like you are really holding it down for that fine state that you represent.
Well, thank you. It's a blessing to be able to serve, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you.